Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name's Tiana and today I'm going to be telling you about all of the books that I plan on reading in August. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I had a very ambitious TBR for last month and I only read 3 books. I feel like I've just been all over the place recently. I've been so busy in my personal life and because of that I just haven't been wanting to sit down and read. So I do have a lot of books that were on last month's TBR that I would like to carry over, but I do also have a selection of books here that I would like to talk to you guys about today because these are some books that I would really like to get to if I can. Now, as well as these books, I am planning on doing a separate video showing you guys all of the books that I'm planning on reading whilst on holiday. Tom and I are going away for a week. We are going to Kos in Greece, which I'm so excited about. And so I do have a selection of books that I feel like would be perfect to read whilst on holiday, but I don't want to mention them here because I do tend to read quite a bit whilst I'm away, and so I feel like that TBR in itself will most likely be completed, whereas this is a little bit more of an open TBR. It's not set in stone, and I may end up not reading any of these books and picking up different books off of my shelves. However, these are the books, as I mentioned, that I really would like to get to. And so without further ado, let's just dive into them because I feel like I've been chatting for a while already. The first book I plan on reading in August is a very exciting one because that one is The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. This is the newest book in the A Darker Shade of Magic universe and I am so excited to read it. This one isn't actually out until September of this year, but as you can see I have kindly been sent an ARC copy of this, which if you guys don't know stands for Advanced Reader Copy. Essentially I get to read and review it before this book comes out, and I am so grateful to the team over at Titan Books for sending this one my way because my jaw honestly dropped. There are 4 different editions of this proof. There is a grey one, a red one, a black one and a white one I believe, which of course represents the 4 different Londons. Now unfortunately I can't tell you too much about this book in particular because the events of this book happen 7 years after the last book in the A Darker Shade of Magic trilogy takes place, and so it would definitely spoil that series for you. But in the first book we follow our main character Cal, who is an Antari, which is a magician with a rare ability to travel between all the different Londons in this world. As I mentioned previously, we have 4. We have Red London, Grey London, White London, and once upon a time there was Black London. Cal himself was raised in Red London, which is a London with a lot of magic, and he is the ambassador to the royal family, which is why he is then able to travel between all the different Londons. Unofficially though, Cal is a smuggler, and so he does manage to sneak different objects and artifacts from each of these Londons and sell them for a price. But after an exchange goes awry, Cal escapes to Grey London and bumps into Delilah Bard. On their first encounter she does rob him, but afterwards when Cal gets himself into another sticky situation, she does end up saving his life. And from this moment on, both her and Cal's fates are essentially woven together, and she does manage to convince Cal to take her to a different London. With perilous magic afoot and treachery at every turn, the main thing that they need to do is to make sure that they stay alive in order to try and save everyone else. That is all I'm going to say about this one. It is a fantastic series. If you haven't picked it up already, I would highly recommend. I haven't even read the synopsis of this one yet. I don't know if I actually want to because I feel like I just want to dive in without knowing anything and see where this story takes me. As you can see, I've not even opened it yet. There is a badge here, we have a postcard and the book itself, and I believe there is a letter in here as well which I need to read, but I've just wanted to keep it like this for some reason. I haven't wanted to unbox it, but I definitely will have to soon, especially if I do plan on reading it this month. But I'm thinking I might film a TikTok or something for it, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But yes, I would love to get to this one this month. It's not out till September though, so I could push it back till then if I needed to, but I would rather get a head start on it. It's a chunky book and I feel like I just need to take the time to sit down and read this one. The next book I would like to get to is Black Coffee by Agatha Christie, which is the next book that I need to read in the Hercule Poirot detective series. You guys know by now that I am making my way through these books. I have read all the Miss Marple books by Agatha Christie and now I'm up to book 7 in the Hercule Poirot Poirot detective series. This one is a little bit different because it's an adaptation from a play. Now, I have read one of these before, which was The Unexpected Guest, and I wasn't a massive fan of it. You can definitely tell that it's meant to be performed on stage rather than be published as a novel. So I am interested to see whether I feel the same way about this one, but it does just say on the back, the inventor, Sir Claude Amory, is left with a bitter taste in his mouth when the formula for his powerful new explosive is stolen by someone staying in his own house. Seeking a swift remedy, Sir Claude locks the doors and switches off the lights to allow the thief to replace the formula, no questions asked. But the darkness brings death, and Hercule Poirot is left to unravel a tangle of family feuds, old flames, and suspicious guests to find the killer and prevent a catastrophe. This novelization is by Charles Osborne. He is the same person that adapted The Unexpected Guest, so I am familiar with his writing style, and this is a short one, so hopefully I will fly through it. I will be checking to see whether the audiobook for this one is available on Scribd, because that is how I tend to get through these books. I love listening to them. They have some of the best audiobook narrators, and from what I can remember, I have watched the ITV adaptation for this, but I don't know who was behind it all. So it is still going to be a mystery for me, and I'll be very happy to get another Poirot book ticked off of my TBR. The next book I would like to get to is The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz. This is one that I was planning on reading more towards the colder months, however something is just making me want to pick it up right now, so I am putting it on this TBR. This just sounds amazing though. I first heard about it on Cody from Cody's Book Corners channel, and as soon as she mentioned what this book was about, I added it to my wish list, and then on a recent trip to Waterstones I saw this lovely hardcover there and decided to pick it up. Now in this one we have 5 main characters, I believe, who are all struggling writers. They are then offered the opportunity to go to a remote estate and try and write a book. They must complete an entire novel from scratch from the moment that they get to this remote location, and the winner will receive a 7-figure publishing deal. Alex, our main character, is of course thrilled by this prospect. That is until the people there start dying. Trapped, terrified, yet desperately still writing, it's clear that there is more than a publishing deal at stake here, and Alex must confront her own demons and finish out this novel in order to try and save herself. This just sounds amazing. I feel like this is exactly the type of book that I need right now. I have been struggling with my reading, as I mentioned, and so a fast-paced thriller in an isolated setting is just gonna hit the spot for me, which is why I've ultimately decided to bump it up on my TBR and try to get to it this month. And then the last 2 books that I have to talk to you guys about today are both Fairyloot books. If you've been keeping up with my TBR videos, you'll know that I am trying to read 1 subscription box book per month. I am subscribed to both Illumicrate and Fairyloot, which means that I do get 2 exclusive new releases per month, which is amazing, and I do love the subscription services. However, I do tend to put them on my shelves and kind of forget about them, and because they are a lot more expensive than your usual novels, I am now trying to make it a priority to read them and see whether I do actually enjoy the books that we get in these boxes. The first Fairyloot book that I would like to get to is The Curse of Saints by Kate Dramis, and to be honest, my reasoning for this is extremely superficial because I actually hate the cover for this. The original cover is so much prettier. I will pop a picture of it up on screen for you now just so that you can see the difference. The original cover has a wolf on it and it's actually printed onto the book itself, and I just think it's so beautiful. However, this one just doesn't really do it for me. So I'm planning on reading it this month, and then if I do really love the book, I will buy the standard edition and get rid of this one. But then if I don't like this book, I don't have to buy the standard edition. I know that sounds like a stupid reason, but ever since I've seen the original cover for this, I've just fallen in love with it and I can't stop thinking about it. And so I'd rather have that on my shelves if I do like this book than an edition that I don't really care about too much. For this one, I am just going to read you the synopsis because I can't remember what it's actually about. It says, has she been sent to save the realm or destroy it? As spymaster to the Queen, Aya's blood oath ensures she protects those she fights alongside, including Will, the Queen's enforcer and Aya's bitter rival. When rumours of dark magic rise in a nearby kingdom, both are sent to investigate. But when Aya's powers act beyond her gods-given affinity, she risks being turned into a weapon in a war she doesn't know how to win. And when her relationship with Will unexpectedly shifts, neither knows the danger that will follow. See, that actually sounds like a book that that I would really enjoy, which I'm hoping is going to be the case. I haven't looked at any reviews for this. I feel like I'm just going to dive in with no real expectations. That way I can form my own opinion without anyone else influencing me, and I do really need to get through my subscription box books, as I mentioned, so I would love to be able to fit this one onto my TBR and see whether I do actually like the story and whether I need to buy the standard hardcover edition of this one too. And then the final book I'm going to talk about in this TBR is Heart of the Sun Warrior by Su Lin Tan. This is the sequel to The Daughter of the Moon Goddess, which I read last year and really enjoyed. I do actually have a dedicated reading vlog for that book, so I will leave it linked up above and down below if you would like to check it out. But the second book came out relatively soon after I read the first one, and I just still haven't picked it up. Now, as I mentioned, I would really like to get through as many subscription box books as I can. One, because I feel like I'm wasting money if I don't, because they're just sat on my shelves waiting to be read, but also because I am gonna have to get rid of some books soon, and I of course don't want to get rid of books that I haven't read, because I again don't want to be wasting my money, and because I don't know whether they could be a new favourite book of mine. I have been especially bad at finishing off series lately, so that is mainly why I'm prioritising this one. It is a beautiful book, you guys, and I really hope that I love it, but it's just been sat on my shelves for way too long. I'm giving myself the kick I need to read this one, and the audiobook is actually available on Scribd, so I may end up listening to the audiobook rather than reading this one physically. I feel like I actually could do that because this is very fairy tale-esque. I feel like it would be a lovely story to listen to, just because I feel like I can visualize things better when I listen to stories rather than when I'm reading them physically, and I feel like this type of book would definitely have more of an impact on me if I listen to it audibly. Of course, I can't tell you too much about this book in particular, but I will read the little snippet at the bottom. It says, "The stunning sequel to the Sunday Times bestselling Daughter of the Moon Goddess delves deeper into beloved Chinese mythology, concluding the epic story of Xinjin, the daughter of Chang'e and the mortal archer Huyi, as she battles a new threat to the realm in this powerful tale of love, sacrifice and hope." I apologise if I mispronounced any names there. I may even try and listen to the first book if that's available on Scribd, actually, because I do feel like I have forgotten a lot of things that went on in the first book, and it would of course be nice to have a refresher before diving into this one. If I don't have time though, I will dive in. I feel like I will pick it up as soon as I fall back into the world, but this should be a definite read from me this month, especially if the audiobook is available. As I mentioned, I am going on holiday, so I can listen to it on the journey there and back, and also if I'm just lying on a sunbed all day. So this is one that should be getting read this month. I'm very excited to get to it, and hopefully I do enjoy it as much as I did the first one. So there we have it, guys. These are the books that I plan on reading this month. Of course, as I mentioned, I am planning on reading more. However, a separate holiday TBR will be coming your way soon, so definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. This is a hefty stack, so I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm hoping that I will manage to get these read. They are all books that I'm actually really excited about, so that definitely gives me hope. And I am planning on starting weekly vlogging again. I've said that so many times, but I actually have the time now to do so in the summer holidays. So if you would like to hear my thoughts on these books, I will be filming weekly reading vlogs where I will be talking about them more in depth as I read them. If you've made it this far into the video and would like to let me know that you're still here, please go ahead and leave me a grey emoji down in the comments. This is the most exciting book I've received in a while, and of course it represents grey London, so I feel like a grey emoji would be perfect. As I mentioned, I'm so excited to dive back into this world and see what I think of this book. So if you don't have anything in particular that you would like to say, but you would like to let me know that you're still here, definitely go ahead and do that now. As well as that, please don't forget to click the like button if you like this video, and the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content from me. But that is it from me today, guys, and I will see you soon in my next video. Goodbye!